to celebrate. We are bringing to your doorsteps the showstoppers that characterize some towns and cities during the festival.
And improving the sanctity and integrity of the nation's judiciary by holding people accountable for offenses against society, as well as enhancing access of the poor and the less privileged to justice.
Rule of law must be subject to the supremacy of the nation's security and the national interest. Where national security and public interest are threatened, or there is a likelihood of their being threatened, the individual rights of those allegedly responsible must take second place in favor of the greater good of society.
It's now assured of safety of lives and property in a bid to provide succor to victims of banditry operations.
Members to take advantage of the ongoing continuous nationwide membership registration exercise in all states and the Federal Capital Territory.
To carry out the re-enrollment exercise successfully. From Kano, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
And still focusing on the dividends of the APC administration, the third mainland bridge closed on August 24th.
Which is being operated upon. The other one is also stable. But unfortunately, the driver of a vehicle that was trying to come into the hospital lost his life, and one of our security men also lost his life.
This is the second time the host experiencing such an attack, as it can be recalled.
Katsina Goldens Championship as it serves off on Tuesday in Katsina State. The week-long tournament is expected to feature hundreds of male and female players drawn from all the states of the federation.
Josh, what time is it in India?
How is South Africa, Mama? Aren't you spending too much on calls now? Don't you worry about it, Mama, because with Glow, you only need to pay 200 Naira a month and you get up to 85% discount on all calls to over 200 international destinations.
See, I'm going to let you guys sort this out.
Now. Time for the party should love you. Bye.
Where's the photographer?
Hey, my friend. How are things going in Canada?
Glow International Call Slasher. Pay 200 Naira monthly fee to get up to 85% discount to call over 200 international destinations. Dial *777# to choose your plans. The largest data network. Glow, grandmasters of data.
Penicillin, ethanol, flour, sugar, glue, whiskey, cornstalk, starch, oil, livestock feed. All from corn. You will discover endless opportunities when you search deeper. And to enjoy their full worth, you need an innovative payment solutions partner that creates value from the obvious and sees opportunity in the not so obvious.
InterSwitch. Transaction solutions you can depend on.
The old one don't vamuso as the new one land the bam. Better bop inside every chop we get Mr. Chef's seasoning cube. 10 Jara cubes there inside the 100 cube packets and 5 Jara cube inside the 50 cube packets. Go buy your own now before the Jara then finish. Mr. Chef, the jollyment you not go forget.
Daddy, this thing is not reducing like before.
Yes, all thanks to the new higher thermal fridge and freezer. They save energy and save money too.
Relax, Mom. It's energy saving and can work with our small generator.
Save up to 42,000 Naira per annum and save up to 40% of your energy with the new higher thermocool energy-saving refrigerators and freezers. Choose peace of mind. Choose higher thermocool.
Small fish in a big pond, but lights, camera, action, and we go beyond. This is our time, we on MTN and Pulse. No, we refuse, so now we can wave our banner. Yo, get ready for what we have to offer from Texas Sports. We got it on M-Pulse. I say science. We got it on M-Pulse. Silence the game. We got it on M-Pulse. Yo, M-Pulse. The stage is set, so let's own it. They say be this, they say be that, but all we want to be is just us, man. Facts.
Yes, it's
explore and learn with MTN M-Pulse. So Clean, the detergent brand trusted by millions of Nigerians. For decades, its 30% concentrated formula has been trusted to wash faster, brighter, cleaner. So Clean with stain magnet technology. The advanced enzyme formula pulls trapped dirt out of fiber like a magnet. So Clean with stain magnet technology for even better stain removal.
How may I help you?
We are staff of the National Population Commission.
Please come in.
Thank you, sir.
Honey!
Yes, sir.
Please come with the kids.
Good day.
The government has sent people to collect information about us.
The National Population Commission and the Federal Ministry of Health will commence the 2018 Nigeria Demographic and Health Survey in selected communities of all the local government areas of the Federation. The survey will sample housing and households, all women and men aged 14 to 59, and also children aged 0 to 5. This survey will be carried out by the pricking of fingers for lab testing and questionnaires for malaria, anemia, HIV and AIDS, fistula, female genital cutting, domestic violence, pregnancy-related and child mortality, amongst others. The exercise will help the government to plan for better housing and improved healthcare facilities. This message is brought to you by the National Population Commission and the Ministry of Health with the support of the USAID and others.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Thanks for staying on the line. The age-long Durbar in Kano is a major part of the Salah celebration. This year's celebration was conducted in a spectacular way with the display of royalty. Mohammed Rabiu Ali, who was at the southern gate of the Emir's palace, reports on the Durbar.
These are sights and sounds of the long-age Hawan Doshe in Kano, which usually comes a day after Salah celebration. It is a tradition for governor to pay homage to the emir. District heads and other traditional title holders march to the Southern Gate arena with colorful and well-dressed horses in procession. The 2018 Hawan Doshe was quite interesting with a favorable atmosphere. Emir Muhammad Sanusi II observed his 5th annual Doshe Durbar on a she camel, a tradition his grandfather was known for. Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje and other dignitaries from within and outside the country were happy with a spectacular display by horse riders.
It's really wonderful to be here, and we are enjoying immensely this incredible show of cultural heritage, of religious wisdom that we see exposed here.
I sent so many pictures to video to the world, from United States to Russia. They said we should come and see this one.
This is the highest concentration of horses in the world. That is why many dignitaries all over the world are converging here in order to witness this very important occasion.
With the experience we have today in Kano, and with the interest of His Highness, we now apply that we will now observe the yearly Festac celebration with Doba in Kano.
Very colorful, and just you see it in Kano, all these nice colors and beautiful riding horses. I really enjoy it.
Several district heads, traditional title holders, including princes from the 3 ruling houses of Bidda Emirate. At occasions like this, horses are given special attention and recognition. Amongst the title holders, one person that occupies a special place at occasions like this is the Serkin Adol Nupe Abdullahi Idris, who is distinguishable by his traditional regalia, including his horses that are specially decorated. Just like the horses and their riders in the special procession, there were various traditional musicians, drummers, and dancers. The Bariki celebrations was earlier addressed by the Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello, who was represented by the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Daniel Sunday Kolo.
At the moment, the governor is developing a cultural calendar, which is a foundation to showcase our cultural activities.
The Etunupe Alhaji Aya Abubakar used the occasion to admonish the people to make sure that they have registered and have collected their permanent voter card in readiness for active participation in the 2019 general elections.
Not in a near distance, they will go out to vote. So pray Almighty Allah to give us a peaceful election, free and fair and credible election.
Commend the Bagabesi for uplifting our culture.
The royal procession on horseback is usually preceded by royal homage of solidarity to the Etunupe by district heads, traditional title holders, senior public servants, chairmen of local government councils in Bidda Emirate, and traditional leaders of various ethnic groups. On the whole, the Bariki celebrations is observed 5 days after the 2 major Eid prayers, the Eid el-Fitr and the Eid el-Kabir.
Impressive way to mark the festival of sacrifice. And keeping with the memories of the Eid el-Kabir, it happened in a big way in the Southern Emirate. Sagir Mohammed Awal describes the celebration as colorful and prestigious. Watch this.
Hawan Doshi is a gathering that brings together people from all walks of life to the ancient city of Zaria to witness the pomp and celebration by horsemen, dance groups, and handcrafted musical instruments, among other traditional displays.
It is a gathering that fosters relationships because it brings people's various groups of Zazzau Emirates and their friends from other parts of the country and indeed other foreign countries as well to come and celebrate with us.
Hawan Doshi serves as a recreational platform for both residents and visitors.
I do hope that our people will continue to join heads together, more especially in the maintenance of security.
We have done the Salah celebration peacefully
And we pray to Almighty Allah continue giving us help.
It's a very nice tradition, and it keeps people together, you know.
Hawan Daushe is an annual tradition that you will not want to miss.
That was indeed a splendid affair. Sons and daughters of Ijebuland in Ogun State converged in their thousands on the ancient town for the annual Ojidioba festival, usually held days after the Eid-el-Kabir celebration, to pay homage to the Awujale and paramount ruler of Ijebuland, Oba Sikiru Adetono. Mohammed Adebowale brings us the thrills and frills of the annual festival.
It is an annual cultural festival. The Ojudioba, Nigeria's rich cultural heritage and indeed that of Ijebu, were colorfully displayed to the admiration of sons and daughters of Ijebuland from within and outside the country, including tourists with pomp and pageantry. As usual, the 8 grades called Regbe turned out in their number to show off in what ended up a competition of sorts. The Baloguns, representing different traditional families, rode in their horses to pay homage to the Awujale, who in splendor acknowledged cheers from the groups. The Baloguns are descendants of Ijebu war heroes, and in their characteristic manner heralded their entry into the arena through intermittent gun salutes. The indigenous telecom giant, Globalcom, official sponsor of the festival, was again how to reward not only loyal customers, but the people at the ceremony through a raffle draw. The winner of the draw, Ayodele Dada, went home with a brand new Hyundai Saloon car, courtesy Globalcom Limited.
I just bought the tickets and I wasn't thinking I'll win. In fact, this is my first time of coming to Ojidioba, despite the fact that I've been living in Ijebu for 18 years. I only came because a friend dragged me. I didn't think I'll win. I'm really very excited right now.
The climax of this year's festival featured a musical concert where up-and-coming artists who are taking the music scene by storm displayed their talents. Miss Ojudioba Beauty Pageant also produced a 19-year-old Adeye Aminat Ololade as the current champion for the 2018 edition.
I would like to visit your orphanage homes, put a smile on children's faces. Thank you very much. I'm grateful, I appreciate. God bless them. God bless
Another successful Ojidioba festival. It gets better every year. From one festival to another, the people of Ado-Ekiti converged on the palace of the Ewi of Ado-Ekiti to celebrate this year's Idiroko festival. It is an annual event for stock-taking and planning for the year. Olatubosun Fagbemi examines the importance of the Idiroko festival to the
traditional attire with pomp and pageantry. Sons and daughters of the community thronged the palace arena to thank God for preserving their lives for another year. Notable amongst them is the governor, Peter Ayodele Fayoshe, who is the chief host, Are Afe Babalola, traditional rulers and captains of industry.
We have recorded a lot of successes that gladdens our heart, that we can come and celebrate Kabisi for. Let
outsiders come to Nigeria and see that we are advanced stage culturally.
The highlight of the event is the presentation of the Asian drums to Oba Dr. Rufus Adeyemo Adejugbe Aladesomi, the third by the Eye Shoron, the king's wife, and other Oloris.
In the olden days, the drums are the only entertainment that happens during the festival.
There are lots of side attractions which include the reaffirmation of loyalty by the chiefs and the war chiefs. Some guests expressed their impressions on the ceremony and the need to preserve our rich culture.
Tourism is a very vital instrument to promote peace.
It's something that every member of the state, even from all other parts of the country, to come and witness and see how beautiful our culture is.
Indeed, Udiroko Festival has become an indispensable source of inspiration and great value to all Ado-Ekiti indigents, the guests, and indeed the world.
Away from the Salah celebration, last month, July to be precise, members of a family were thrown into turmoil. One of their 3 kids, a 4-year-old, had disappeared during a church service. That same day, they reported the incident to the police and the waiting game began. No one called for ransom. Last week, however, the little girl was found in another town. This report will explain better. The timeline started on Sunday, the 8th of July. The Ogidis showed up in church as usual. There was a Thanksgiving in the children's section. During the service, the house help claimed she left the 3 children in her care for a couple of minutes in order to get their share of the Thanksgiving cake. When the domestic staff returned, 4-year-old Elo was missing among her siblings. A search began immediately. It was fruitless. Someone in the crowd said a woman had covertly taken Elo away. By the next day, Elo's traumatized parents, Afoko Gene and Rita Ogidi, concluded that their daughter had been kidnapped. The incident was reported to the Lagos Police Command. 4 days later, the Ogidis were yet to get a call for ransom. The press got involved at this point. Headlines were popping up about a missing child who was allegedly abducted by a faceless woman during a church service. Elo's parents, church members, and friends posted photos and touching captions on social media calling for leads and clues. Not too long, crank callers and fraudsters took advantage of the family's pain. Calls for money for Elo's release kept coming from imposters who could not provide proof of life of the missing child in their custody. The lowest was a young lady who made posts claiming to have seen Elo. After she got social media attention, she confessed that she had no knowledge of Elo's whereabouts, admitting to stunned followers that she lied in order to gain following and cyber popularity. This insensitivity was among reasons why celebs took up the case of the missing child. Don Jazzy, Banky W, Laura Ikeji, Sisi, and topping the list, Nikki Laoye joined the search party on social media. Their followers reposted. The search went global. Then, one day, Elo's dad got a curious call. A lady in Benin claimed she had seen the face of the child whose photo was everywhere in an orphanage in Benin City, Edo State. Elo's dad requested a video call. What do you know? This was not the usual dead end. And on Friday, 24th of August, he beheld his daughter on his phone screen. Elo was alive. It was a day to remember. Social media was lit. Celebs and their fans celebrated the return of the child who disappeared during a church service 5 weeks ago.
You guys don't get to see me like this, but I've been crying for hours since Elo's father called to tell me that she had been found.
The relief notwithstanding, there are many questions begging for answers. Who abducted Elu? Why was she taken away? How did she end up in an orphanage 3 hours' drive from where she was taken? We intend to solve these puzzles in an update. The case is still shrouded in mystery. We hope to tie loose ends soon. Our next segment features celebrations of life and unions. Stay tuned. The entertaining details will come after this break.
National Planning, in collaboration with Ogun State Government, announces meeting of the Joint Planning Board and National Council on Development Planning. Theme: accelerating implementation of the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan. Role of stakeholders. Host: Senator Udoma Udoma and Mrs. Zainab S. Ahmed, Honorable Minister of Budget and National Planning. Chief Host: His Excellency Senator Ibikunle Amosu, Executive Governor of Ogun State. Special Guest of Honor: His Excellency Professor Yemi Oshibajo, GCON, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Invited delegates include Honorable Commissioners and Chief Executives of State Economic Planning Agencies, DGs and Permanent Secretaries, Directors of key MDAs, and other related private sector organizations. Date: August 28 to 30th, 2018. Venue: June 12 Cultural Center, Kuto, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Announcer: Olajide S. Odewole, Permanent Secretary.
Come on, boys. Come on. Look at this guy. Yeah, that's it. Come back. Come back. Oh, these boys.
TomTom refreshes and sharpens your senses, making you come alive. Go for it with TomTom.
We have a challenge. My husband has a big interview, but his shirt's aren't cleaning well.
Don't panic, Ngozi. Just use Good Mama. Good Mama's extra cleaning power removes all dirt, leaving a wonderful scent. Look, whites are white, colors are bright, and extra fresh.
Now in a 1 kg pack.
He got the job?
What do you think?
Obvious.
Good Mama knows best.
All my fears are running.
What we are really cultivating here is a better future for all Nigerian women. And it's not always easy. Panadol Extra relieves headache, backache, joint pain, toothache, and menstrual pain. The pain is worth it.
Cadbury Hot Chocolate 3-in-1. A delicious combination of rich cocoa and wholesome goodness of milk. Just add hot water to get an instant chocolatey treat. Cadbury Hot Chocolate 3-in-1. Just add hot water.
Caring for the patients of typhoid and diarrhea is our responsibility. And these illnesses are often spread due to eating with unclean hands. So I recommend Dettol, as it protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs. That's why I want to be Dettol sure. Dettol, the 100% sure.
Dettol soap is now also available for 100 Naira only.
I've got something for you. Clorex is the only gum that eliminates odors, giving you real fresh breath.
Welcome back. She was born 90 years ago. The journey through the years have been so sweet. However, she impacted lives, not just her family, but the society at large. For her service to humanity, people from all walks of life showed up at the Church of Assumption, Falomo, in Lagos to celebrate her birth. Who am I talking about?
Of the Elumelu family defied all odds and went to the house of God to show appreciation for the journey so far, because for her, old age is not all about weakness, but a blessing from God. Rendition by the choir as a way of worship filled the atmosphere. Done with the Thanksgiving service, the train of celebration headed for the reception, where guests were entertained with sumptuous meals, drinks, and music by popular Nigerian artists. Mama could not resist the melody of the music as our camera captured her rocking it her own way. The matriarch of the Elumelu family was overwhelmed.
I thank God I will continue to praise Him and worship Him till end of my life.
A true Nigerian you can call Mama because she speaks Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo fluently. Her children have this to say about her.
She went through thick and thin to make sure we go through education, and here we are today because of our effort.
She believes in happiness, she believes in bearing no grudges, and I think that's the reason why she is 90.
Happy birthday, Mama. More healthy years.
We're celebrating a woman, a virtuous woman, a good mother.
Mama, up till now, she still makes me plantain pudding, which is really nice. It's called upogede in our language, and she cooks like you can't cook for her. You can't even cook better than her.
Traditional rulers and other guests showered encomiums on her.
I wish for her is that God Almighty Allah will grant her good health, long life.
It's a woman of substance. It's a home builder. It's a woman of enterprise.
For their mother to have lived up to 90 years, they too have lived in peace.
Mama Susan Elumelu is blessed with 5 children, many grand and great-grandchildren.
She looks mighty good for 90. Congratulations and best wishes to the matriarch. It was a day of fulfillment for the Commissioner of Police in Anambra State, Garuba Baba Umaru, when he gave out his daughter, Nana, in marriage. Tina Toro, who covered the wedding fatia in Zaria, reports that the event attracted personalities from all walks of life.
Is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
The Smartphone Network.
Bayes University is a fully licensed university operating since 2011 and has grown to have 32 accredited programs in 6 faculties. This includes computer and applied sciences, management and social sciences, engineering, environmental sciences, law, and basic medical sciences. The university also offers postgraduate programs and foundation courses in a conducive learning environment with modern teaching facilities and high-quality national and international staff. Bayes University graduates have either progressed into respectable career positions or have obtained postgraduate degrees from different parts of the world with distinctions. Admissions for 2018-2019 academic session is ongoing. Call or visit www.bayesuniversity.edu.ng. Bayes University, Abuja. Learn to live.
Did you know that NASCO quality cornflakes are made of the freshest, sun-ripened yellow corn and are whole flaked to retain all the nutrients of the whole corn? They are high in fiber, nutritious, crunchy, and oh so tasty. They have no artificial flavorings and colorings. That's why mothers have trusted NASCO cornflakes through the ages. NASCO quality cornflakes, delicious nutrition that starts whole and stays whole.
Madam. Brought us as usual.
As usual. You have no problem.
For the three put.
You are welcome, sir.
As usual, yeah.
Welcome. You take that one. You take that one. You don't understand? We want Nigerian homegrown rice. Finish. You don't have.
Join the rice revolution today.
No other rice that tastes like Nigerian rice. Are you sorry? That's the Nigerian rice we are talking about. Chocolate made in Nigerian rice. Healthy food. I'm going to bring me.
Causes the body to sweat, which attracts germs that are easily passed from one person to another.
What keeps you so cool, man?
Dettol Cool combines Dettol's protection and an invincible icy feel. For super cool confidence, use Dettol Cool.
Dettol soap is now also available for 100 Naira only.
Fake news which is shared for malicious purposes is a danger to our peace and security in Nigeria. Misinformation as fake news is a serious threat to our hard-earned democracy and promotes hatred and misunderstanding between our communities. We are all responsible for stopping the spread of fake news in its tracks. So, always check the source and credibility of any news item. Say no to fake news. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Welcome back. The wedding between Kehinde Lydia Adefulere and Honorode Reginald Aziza drew large crowds from across the world to Lagos. Annie Daniels reports that the bride is a daughter of the senior special advisor to the president on Millennium Development Goals, Adejoke Orelokwe Adefulere.
That procession by daughter and father heralded the holy matrimony between Kenny and Reginald. It was indeed a sight to behold. Guests, including the wife of the vice president, Mrs. Dolapo Shibajo, witnessed the exchange of vows and wedding bands.
To love and to cherish, until we are parted by death, according to God's holy law. This is my solemn vow.
Within the love of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
The priest, Right Reverend Dapo Ashaju, gave the couple some advice.
Don't look at the way others are doing. You must keep according to the word of the Lord. This is the way by which you will find sure success and make your way prosperous.
Now time to sign the dotted lines. With smiles on their faces, you can tell it is a day the duo have been looking forward to. Kenny and Reginald let Newsline into what attracted them to each other.
We're both lawyers. We met at a conference in Lagos, and it was love at first sight, I guess. He's extremely understanding, so I don't think there'll be any problems in terms of, being together, living together.
I think it's a very happy day for her, for me, for all of us, really, and this is why we're here today. And I just hope that the smiles and the happiness would continue for the rest of our life.
Their parents and loved ones could not wish them less.
They should not keep malice, and they should not hold grudge. If there's any issue, the second day, couples should resolve it.
The hand of God will be upon them. The home that God has built for them today will be permanent in the name of Jesus.
Prosper them physically, spiritually, and materially.
I've been married to my wife for 38 years. I expect them to do the same. No quarrels, they should live together happily.
If you make yourself look happy, if you find happiness within difficulties, you will be looking younger, like ourselves.
Afterwards, all roads led to a breathtaking reception, and it was again a roll call of who is who in society. And everybody had enough to eat and drink. Straight on, the couple cut their cake.
That was a lovely wedding party. God bless the new Mr. and Mrs. Social media platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, and Instagram have become acceptable bridges that simplify interactions. However, some people consider them distractive. They also cause conflicts among intimate couples. Now tell me, would you delete your social media account to save your relationship or marriage? Elizabeth Ewuga reports.
The social media is one of the places friendships are formed, memories are created, and business is given a lift. It is also a place where people see and share photographs for various reasons. However, when it comes to relationships, there are twists. If left uncontrolled, this twist could cause rift in spousal relationship. So we ask, would you delete your social media account to save your relationship?
I can't delete my social media account.
Yeah, depending on the kind of relationship. If he's a husband, I will, to save my marriage.
If maybe WhatsApp or whatever will make my house scatter, I can do without it.
Why not? Of course, because I want to save my marriage.
Going off social media is not the best.
If not, why?
Because I know
about men or boyfriend anything. Maybe because of too much time you're spending to do it than to do the needful at home.
He might have seen something on my Facebook account that will make him to tell me to quit.
The latest trend is the issue of children blocking parents from seeing the activities on social media.
Sometimes it's necessary. They see you texting, you're online, they literally stalk you. And they want to know when you're online, why you put this picture here, why there's a okay, like Snapchat filters, for example. You take a picture and then they're wondering, why is that flower on your head? And some parents won't tell you it's witchcraft or something like that. I should remove it. All this kind of stalking is the reason why people block their parents on social media.
This is a wrong attitude in the first instance, if you look at it critically. So, blocking parents that from the root you'll be raising. So, automatically, there is a clause. They are trying to hide something from the parents.
Let me use the word that some parents have actually spoiled their kids. They did not teach them anything that, and they are not doing some rubbish on the media. That's what they don't want their parents to actually see. That's why they are blocking their parents. And funny enough, if I should block my mom, I'm in soup.
That means that kid is not straightforward. He's doing something that is terrible for you to block your parents.
So, Becky, tell me, if you are in this kind of dilemma to delete your social networking account, lose all the friends you have reconnected over the years, or lose your home, what will you do?
Why put me in a corner, Elizabeth? Oh well, the jury will remain out on that one, to delete or not to delete. Toe the line of peace. Peace is always cheaper and blissful. Moving on, the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, in Topo Badagry, is a training center for technocrats in diverse fields. From the civil service to the organized private sector, professionals gather from time to time in order to brainstorm and exchange ideas for optimum productivity. The management of NTA Lagos Network Center were in a retreat at ASCON that served this objective. Paul Mukago reports.
How do you handle an exclusive class of well-read and highly exposed management team who are leaders in their own right? Resource person and Director of Studies, Department of Leadership Development, ASCON, Boma Akirojemi, came to terms with this when she handled a comprehensive lecture on leadership. She stressed that qualities a leader must possess should basically border on their positive influence on subordinates. It was an interactive session between lecturer and her students. Top management staff of NTA Lagos Network Center.
Achieving the task. What do you mean achieving the task? Being result-oriented. Yes. So, NTA was established for a reason.
The outcome was an abstract of what leadership in the broadcast industry entails. Apart from identifying challenges and how to overcome them, the group acted on maintaining effective relationship with players in the industry while acknowledging healthy competition.
It was quite participatory. The NTA staff heard their views. It was quite interactive.
We have a vision. We have to make it better. We are in a competitive era. We must try our best to remain afloat. That is why I think exercise of this nature is needed.
Looking into the issue of leadership, we are able to look at how we can build a team that is bringing together everybody in an organization, no matter what level you are, to achieve the success, or achieve the goals that you intend.
We're looking at programming. We're looking at good production. We're looking at starting from the very beginning, the program idea.
After the lecture, the management staff led by the Zonal Director of Lagos Network Center, Pius Oje, deliberated on how to develop TV content in order to attract more viewership. Other parameters for growth and viability of any given structure were discussed.
We are going to look into the programs, the ones that need to be stepped down and the ones we need to improve on because of our limited resources. We will do.
Conduct a proper audience research that will tell us, for example, what is important to the audience that we are reaching as the Lagos Network Center.
There's no time we meet in Nigeria that we don't train our personnel for what we know and what they need to know. Sometimes we need to go out and get this external training.
Leaving the confines of their offices and day-to-day administrative and managerial responsibilities for the retreat at ASCON, participants say the interlude was worth the while.
I don't believe any zonal center has done this before, and it should be encouraged. It should actually be done from time to time to enable management come out here in a serene environment such as this and take decisions that will move the center forward.
We are going back to tell the staff that we have done evaluation. We need to seriously put our thinking cap on to be sure that we are doing what we are supposed to do.
I've known a little bit about marketing. Basically, I'm more knowledgeable about how to run the affairs of NTA.
I think one major thing I'll be taking away from this place is the ability of functioning as a team.
Participants promised to channel the knowledge acquired into the running of the Lagos Network Center, Channel 10, and educational television, also in Lagos.
Yes, learning is a continuous process. On to the next. The people on queue are professionals. They are bankers, websites designers, singers, fashion designers, name it. But they all have one thing in common that unifies them and also makes their story inspiring. Elizabeth Omoriu is our guide.
This is a vocational training center in Oshodi for the blind. It was established.
People say, my daughter is beautiful. I feel so bad because I could not see her. But being blind and a mother, I thank God I have close relative. That's my mom and my husband stood by me. So they don't make me to have any feelings that I'm blind.
Although they have sad tales, but this hasn't deterred them from achieving their goals. This vocational training facility by the Federal Nigeria Society for the Blind, a non-governmental organization, is impaired persons. Their trainees are taken through various vocational skills such as beading, tying and dyeing of local fabrics, computer training, music, soap making and basket weaving.
Before we scatter the folding, we firstly put it into first color so that dye will show the design that we put it. Like the one that we are doing now, we are going to dye it before we the wax all this candle.
Here is Mr. Yekini. He has been blind since he was 3. He is a music expert who worked with the Lagos State Ministry of Education for 35 years. Guess what? He actually taught Kobams how to play the keyboard.
I play various instruments, trumpet, keyboard, quite a few of them. As a teacher, you must be able to play some of these things. And when I came back from Scotland, my job was waiting for me.
He also dazzled me with these tunes. And who says there's no ability in disability? We also visited the library at the facility and we met Suraj reading a news publication.
The birth of the newspaper in 1995 can be traced to the disappearance of many newspapers.
For those of you who don't like to read, here is a challenge.
So we just want the federal government to come in now and assist us, either through the Federal Ministry of Social Development and Women Affairs.
We need a lot of funding. Putting a place like this together is not an easy task. They learn things called daily living skills. So you'll be surprised, blind people can actually cook, they can iron, they can, take care of a flat, they can do all the things that able people can do.
At the end of our visit at the center, members of the music class entertained us with this performance. Amazing abilities, very impressive. Our last break is on cue. Let's take it.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
It was a gathering of jurists, serving and retired members of the bar and the bench, as well as dignitaries from all walks of life at the Oyo State capital to celebrate the life and times of late Justice Pius Aderemi. Femi Afolabi reports that the week-long program of activities was a celebration of life well spent.
The holy books, perhaps, have summarized man's sojourn on life by saying there is time to be born and time to die. For late Justice Pius Aderemi, both times have come to pass, and it is time for those he left behind as friends and families to celebrate the life and time of the erudite jurist. The four-day event began with a hot from the deceased constituency, the judiciary, with a special court session and tributes by the Nigerian Bar Association.
He motivated us in Oyo State, he encouraged us, and he impacted on us and led us in the legal odyssey.
And yet, the procession to St. Joseph's Catholic Church in Keado for the funeral service was carnival-like.
When a righteous man dies, you shall see and witness the gathering of impetuous men. You shall see and witness the gathering of eminent jurists, legal luminaries, and above all, pious men.
He lived a very fulfilling life, and he's left a quintessential legacy.
So I can say that he was a father to me, and he was also a mentor.
Caring, loving, kind.
Elevation to the Oyo State High Court bench and later the Supreme Court. A recipient of the National Honours of Commander of the Order of the Niger, late Justice Aderemi died at age 79.
May his soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. And that's Newsline tonight. Thank you for watching. Join us next week for an even